We've got the highest chronic disease burden of any country in the world. When my uncle was president, 3% of Americans had chronic disease. Today, it's 60%. 74% of our kids cannot qualify for military service. We have fertility rates that are just spiraling.
For the last 50 years, American children have increasingly been living in a toxic soup of synthetic chemicals. Cancer and diabetes in young people is going up at an alarming rate, and nobody seems to know why. We have to turn our attention to underlying causes, such as chemicals and toxins that children are exposed to, not just more insulin and chemotherapy. For companies that are currently using petroleum-based red dye, try watermelon juice or beet juice.
If they want to add petroleum, if they want to eat petroleum, they ought to add it themselves at home. But they shouldn't be feeding it to the rest of us. And without our knowledge or consent.
That's HHS Secretary RFK Jr. getting applause, and that was FDA Chief Dr. Marty Makary saying they're moving to wipe out synthetic food dyes they say are driving America's chronic health crisis. They're next going to knock out pharmaceuticals in the food supply, too. Let's welcome to the show the Chief Scientific Officer of the Wellness Company. He's internist and cardiologist, Dr. Peter McCullough. Doctor, we know you've been very passionate about this. So they're going to phase out petrochemicals in America's food supply that we have literally been eating. Why did it take President Trump to do this and not generations of other presidents? We're talking byproducts from oil, gas, plastics byproducts, all throughout America's food supply. So how come it takes Trump to fix this and not Biden, not Obama, not George W., not George H.W., not Bill Clinton, and on and on? Why was this going on for so long?
Over the decades, the food industry, the lobbyists are so powerful in Washington, they had their way. We're talking about red dye 40, yellow 5 and 6, they're the big ones. They're in colorful candies and sports drinks, but even foods like pie shells. They're associated with worsened symptoms of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And then in preclinical studies, some have been associated with cancer. So this is the right move. They need to get out of the food supply.
Okay, so the illness is connected to this, doctor. I mean, artificial colors like yellow dye are made from the byproduct of coal tar and coal ash. So they let in all these petrochemical byproducts meant to dye clothes, to dye fabrics that we wear into our food. That's what's in our children's snacks. So you're talking ADHD. By the way, do they do this to make colors of food seem more brighter in order for children to eat them?
That's right. It kind of attracts the children, the bright colors, but also don't forget it's sports drinks that older kids drink, and it may be a lifetime of exposure that increases the risk of certain cancers, particularly bladder cancer. So, we have far too many risks in our environment right now. Cancer is a big ticket item. The sooner they're out of the food supply, the better.
It's really shocking. I mean, centuries from now, people are going to look back at us and think, what was America doing? And it took Trump to stop it. Dr. Peter McCullough, thanks for being with us.